I am honored to be here at your request, Mrs. Kim Simplice Barrow. I'm Special Envoy for Women and Children, as we join forces to advance the basic human rights and the common values of humanity through personal awareness and empowerment. Battering, often referred to as domestic violence, is one of the most common but least reported crimes in the world. It happens to women, and indeed men, of every age, race, class, and nationality. It is done by the persons we marry or date, by our sons, by our daughters, our nephews, and by relatives who verbally harass and degrade us. Battering takes many forms and include a range of threatening and harmful behavior. It may take the form of verbal and emotional abuse, with the direct or implied threat of violence. Battering may include control of finances and of one's physical freedom. It may include slapping, punching, choking, kicking, or hitting with objects. Battering may escalate to sexual assault and can ultimately end in murder. When I suffered my first slap on the face, the first kick, the spitting on my face, I blamed myself. I would say, yeah, he punched and kicked me, but maybe I said something to make him mad. Or, he only hits me when I argue. Today I realize that although everyone has a right to get angry, it's natural. No one has the right to express his anger so violently. No one has the right to hurt me. Over time, the abuse resulted in bruises that became visible. And when I was asked by family or friends about what happened, I simply smiled and said, "Oh, I bumped in the wall or furniture." My situation evolved into where I was being humiliated in public, at many functions, and behind closed doors. My worst experience occurred in 2007 in Belmopan, when my abuser came home drunk. We got into an argument, and he slammed my face into the bedroom door so violently that it caused my face and eyes to instantly swell. I was so severely injured that I had to be rushed to the hospital and was advised that I needed to be transported in an ambulance to Belize City. I refused to get in the ambulance, and I insistently said no, that I was okay and I'd be fine. I ended up having to remain at home for about 2 weeks. The injury was so bad that it damaged a nerve that even today, when I touch a certain part of my face, it shocks my teeth. There remain still so many stories yet untold, and there are so many wounds so deep and painful. Who would have believed that one day I would have the courage to share my experience with others in a public forum such as this? An all too common question asked about women who are battered is, why do they stay? The question itself takes the focus off the real question, which is, why does this happen? Battered women do not remain in the relationship because we enjoy the battering. We may feel trapped and unable to leave. At that time, I felt helpless, and each time I sought help, my life was threatened. Often, we who have been living with abuse for a long time become so worn down emotionally that we simply cannot imagine a way out. As a survivor of domestic abuse, sometimes it's hard to revisit the past, but who can tell our story better than us? When I see someone going through the same situation, I feel so sad, knowing that just a few years ago, I too was right where you are. And like you, I also felt helpless. I found courage within myself, and with the help of God, I gained the strength to be the voice and advocate for those who suffer in silence. I am no longer ashamed of unmasking the physical, mental, verbal, and emotional abuse that I suffered for over 14 years at the hands of the person who claimed to love me. The harsh reality is that I couldn't change this person, but I realized I could change my situation. I started praying until there was peace inside of me. I started to fill my mind with positive thoughts, and I listened to the voice that kept telling me, "You are good enough. You are beautiful. You are worthy." There is so much that needs to be done for those who have suffered and those who continue to suffer in silence. It's only when we break the wall of silence about abuse that we can truly expect to make a difference. I recall the words of Martha Washington, America's first lady, who said, "I've learned from experience that the greater part of our happiness or misery depends on our dispositions and not on our circumstances." 2 years ago, I got the courage and strength to walk away and to create a safe home for my 2 children and myself. Today, I say to all the women who find themselves in a similar situation, learn to love yourself. It's only then that you can love someone else. Walk away from anything that hurts you or does not add value to your life. Would I do anything different? You bet. I would walk away from the very first sign of abuse. The human person is too valuable to be mistreated or abused in any way. No man should ever use violence as his right. I personally have embraced my scars and made them my strength. That has made me the person I am today, a beautiful masterpiece. I have found that everything that happened to me was not happening to me, but it was happening for me, creating me and bringing me to this place I am today. I end with this beautiful quote from Maya Angelou. Each time a woman stands up for herself, without knowing it, without claiming it, she stands up for all women. Thank you for your kind attention. Thank you all gathered here for supporting this cause. And I look forward to strong collaboration from the many support organizations during the next 16 days. Let us join forces to put an end to violence.